So we've created our two record types for commercial and residential accounts. But if you remember, we assigned them both the regular account layout, and we want different layouts for each one. So now we need to create those. And we'll do that by going down to under the accounts object. We're going to select page layouts here. And we're going to go ahead and create a new one. First thing we're going to do is select an existing page layout or account layout to clone a new page layout from. And we'll save this, and we can add a field or two or do whatever we want to the page layout for residential accounts, and just make sure we save this page layout. Now we can create another page layout for our commercial accounts, and we'll just clone this one off of the regular account layout as well. We already assigned it, and we'll give it a name. Now there's certain things on the commercial accounts that we don't care to display, like this has dog field. That's strictly a residential thing because most commercial properties don't have dogs. So we'll get rid of that field, and we can also select some fields and reorganize them if we want. And that's how the commercial records will be displayed on the page layouts. So we have our record types, and we have the two different page layouts we just created, but now we need to assign the page layouts to the record types. So go in here to page layout assignments and go ahead and edit the assignment. You can see under commercial and residential, those are our two record types, and you can see that they're assigned to the account layout. Over on the left is the profiles, and you can see for each profile what layout they're going to be able to view this record type as. So if you go ahead and select all of these, you can reassign what layout you want to be viewed as. So we just assigned the same layout for everybody, so everybody sees these two records the same way. Okay, now let's go ahead into our accounts object and create some records. So we'll go to our accounts tab up top, create a new one, and there you see we have selected the residential record type. Let's say this is the Johnson family. They had their pine straw last applied in March. They do have a dog, they do have an irrigation system, Bermuda grass, and it takes 40 pine straw bales for their landscape. Go ahead and give them an address, fill out some other information, and we will create the Johnson record. Okay, so here we are on our Johnson residential record. You can see all the information up top that we just filled out. Down below is our related lists, but we don't have a contact yet for this account, so let's go ahead and create one. Alright, we'll go ahead and make this Drew Johnson's account information. We'll go ahead and fill out his fields, and you don't have to fill out all the fields, only the ones with the red bar next to them, which means they're required. So you see that last name field up there on the top left. If we try and save the record, it won't let us because we didn't fill that out. So let's go ahead and fill that out and select the Johnson account to link it to. And that's just a reminder that we've created a new account, and if we want to send an automated email to them. And here we are. We created our Drew Johnson contact. So if we go back to our account, you can see, if we go back to our Johnson account, you can see down on our related lists that we have our Drew Johnson contact linked to this account now. Now let's try and create a commercial record. So we'll select the commercial record type, and we're going to go ahead and give it a name. Let's say this is a fast food restaurant that we did the landscaping for. Notice that there's no has dog field at the top because we removed it from this record type's page layout. So we'll go ahead and fill out the fields and save it, and here we are, our Fast Burger commercial record that we just created, our commercial account. Now we're going to check out list views. So if we go back to our accounts tab, this little drop down menu here are our list view options. If you click go, it shows whatever list view you're looking at. You can create new ones to display your accounts in different ways. So this view we're going to call commercial accounts, and we're going to set a filter to just show us the accounts that are of the commercial record type. So this is called a lookup relationship right here, where you select some of the values you have available, and you can select the fields that are displayed on the bar up top. So we'll go ahead and select those, and here we are, our new list view, the fields we selected up top, and our Fastburger commercial account there that we have displayed. Let's go ahead now and back to our State Parks custom object we created, and we'll create one. You see there's not a lot of fields here, not a lot of information, just one field. So I'm going to go ahead and add some and just fast forward through that. So right now you can see I just added number of trails and GPS coordinates, those two fields. So we'll go ahead and save Good Lake State Park. And now we want to create another custom object. So we'll call this one Trails. And we'll check our reporting and sharing boxes. And make sure you check this one down here at the bottom. Launch new custom tab wizard, which again launches this tab screen. And you see this little icon next to map, that one. That one means that we've used this icon in one other object, and we used it in our State Parks object. But we're going to use it again for our Trails object. We'll go through our security settings, and here we are. We're going to also create some fields for this one, so I'm going to fast forward through that right now. And we created the miles field, which is a number field, and we created the difficulty field, which has, it's a pick list field with 3 values: beginner, intermediate, and advanced, or expert. We'll call this the Great Oak Trail. We'll go ahead and also fill out this miles field. Let's say this trail is 6 miles long, and it's the intermediate difficulty. And there we are. We created our Great Oak Trail. If we go back to State Parks though, and we go back to our Good Lake State Park, there's no related list down here saying the trails that are inside of it. And we want the Great Oak Trail to be in the Good Lake State Park. So we're going to use what's called a master detail relationship. So we're going to go to this custom fields and relationships on the trails object. You always create a master detail relationship on the child or detail object. So Good Lake State Park, or just the State Parks object, is going to be the master, and all its children, all the trails that are inside of it, is the detail. So we'll go ahead and create this. Notice this allow reparenting checkbox. We're not going to check it because we don't want trails to be reassigned to different state parks because they can only be in one. You can't pick up and move a trail. Alright, so we get this error message because we've already created trails, and you can't create a master detail relationship if you already have records created. So because we only have one, we're going to go ahead and delete this and then just recreate our master detail relationship. But if you had a lot and you didn't want to just delete them all, you'd have to create a lookup relationship field and then transform that into a master detail relationship. So right now we're just going through and doing the same thing, creating our master detail relationship. We're not going to allow reparenting. We're going to go through our security settings, and there we go. So now if we go back to our Good Lake State Park, you see our trails related list shows up here with that map icon. So let's go ahead and create a new trail from this. We'll recreate our Great Oak Trail. We'll give it a name and a number of miles, a difficulty level, and you can see our Good Lake State Park is selected. Alright, so we made our Great Oak Trail, and it is inside our Good Lake State Park. One of the cool things about master detail relationships is that now if we delete the Good Lake State Park, the Great Oak Trail, and any other trails that are related to it will be deleted as well. Now we're going to go into required fields and where you can make fields required. There's 3 ways you can do this using page layouts. When you actually create the field, there's a checkbox so you can make it required, and using what's called validation rules, which we'll go over in security and access. So if you see on our fields, there's this little wrench icon here, or properties. You can click that and you have the option to make fields read-only or required. So required just means you can't save the record without filling out this field. And read only means you can see it, but you can't edit it. That little star there next to the field name just means that this field is required. So let's go ahead and save this. Alright, so that's one place you can do it. Now the other place is if you go back to your fields and you actually edit the field. So let's just pick one and click the edit button. And there's that required field under general options, so you can make the field required there. And those are the two places we're going to go over today. Okay, so we just made fields required using the page layout editor and editing the field itself. Now we're going to create an app to add to our app drop-down menu. We're going to call this app Camping. It's going to keep track of all of our camping objects. And we're going to create a label here of campsites. This is going to create a campsite object, and we can choose to use it or not. If we go to our app, we see campsites, our new tab up there at the top, and we can add our state parks and trails objects. So we'll go to customize my tabs, find state parks and trails, and throw them over in the selected tabs box. Now you can see our state parks and trails objects there at the top, and we have all of our camping information inside of our camping app without any irrelevant information cluttering up our tab bar.
Okay, we covered a lot, so hopefully some things stuck. If you found this video helpful, leave a comment, and if not, please leave a comment and explain why. Also, check out this recap slide to review some important points and commit a couple things to memory.
Remember that when you create a custom object, it doesn't automatically create a tab. Also, loss of data can happen when you change fields from one type to another. In most situations this happens except for when you change a number field to a text field. Also, dependent pick lists are something we didn't cover, but basically it's two pick lists and the values that are available in one are determined by the value you pick in another. Roll-up summary fields are pretty cool, something we didn't cover, but in our state park example we could say things like, this state park has 3 trails totaling over 100 miles. One more important thing you need to know that we didn't cover is junction objects, and these just allow you to create a many-to-many relationship between other objects.
Now finally, there's a few features that I didn't get to in this video that you need to know. Roll-up summary fields, dependent pick lists, and junction objects. So go watch some videos on those. Also, check out Salesforce's official trailhead for some extra practice, specifically the Admin Beginner Trail. And thanks for watching.